Hey guys, welcome to Dash and Holmesy Take 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host, Holmesy. Holmesy, we just finished recording.
We did. We're back at it again.
Yeah.
This is great.
We just finished recording the Persona Dancing Endless Night special. Today, I thought we'd also record just a smidge after that, just to kind of talk a little bit about our year and where we see ourselves in the new year and where we're going forward as well, just like individually and together as Dash and Holmesy as well. Guys, if you didn't know, Dash and Holmesy is our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast. Holmesy and I are currently working on Persona 5, but today we're just going to talk a little bit about our goals in 2018, if we've established those, if we've gotten to those, and we're also going to talk about our New Year's resolutions in 2019. If you like that, make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, or on dashandholmesy.com, or on iTunes, where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating. I just want to get through that real quick.
Nah, so good.
Because I've done that already.
So many.
All right, guys. So we just want to have a bit of a one-on-one chat a little bit. Holmesy, how have you... talk to me about 2018 and what you think about 2018, how you fared and everything.
Yeah. This year's actually really good.
Yeah.
I think given my prior years working on my own content and on myself, there's been a lot of good that's come from this year and late 2017.
Yeah.
I think moving to Melbourne has been like a huge change for me and like the people that I'm here with, Dash, people that I'm here with and the people I've met and just like all of that continuing through for this year. This has been probably the most productive year for me and probably the most mentally healthy I've been in a long time as well. So it's been 2018 has been a really good year.
Yeah, I remember it was one of those things back in 2017, early 2017, that you had the idea of moving down this way to Melbourne, and you know it was something that you were kind of struggling with as well at the time, kind of thinking about just the idea, the notion of moving over this way. And I remember you talking to me about it, and even saying at one point that you didn't want to do it and everything. And I told you no, I think do it. I think it's going to be really good for you. And lo and behold, I feel like Melbourne has become Twitch Central in a way. It's kind of translated over from Sydney a little bit now, where a lot of the prominent Twitch creators are from here, and it's something that I think helped you in the long run, especially with your goals and everything for Twitch heading into 2019. I remember watching you, I think maybe about a week ago or so, on Twitch, saying, "Oh man, I really, really, really want to work on my goal of becoming a Twitch partner in 2019."
Yeah.
Which you've been working really hard at now since 2014, I'd say now, when you were part of 64 Bytes.
Yeah. 2015.
2015 was it?
Yeah.
And you were part of that crew, and then launching your own YouTube channel at the same time of actually doing that project. And noticing how far you've come from that and how well you've done with that, which is really cool. And I think one of the smartest moves was for you to actually come down here, and I can see that now.
Yeah, I'm much happier here.
Yeah.
It's, I think, one of the biggest things. Well, I said the biggest. It's the biggest small thing, but the internet here has actually made things so much less stressful too. I don't think. I'm about to say I don't think many people appreciate, but there's definitely people that appreciate how much of a strain.
Are you talking about your potato internet they used to run off at Sydney?
Yeah, like running my games on my home internet and streaming on 4G. Like using a 4G dongle is the worst, man.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that I have that here.
Yeah.
Now I can send you the audio files for podcasts in record time.
I know, thank God. And we were able to, it took me till June to get NBN at my place as well. And
yeah, you finally joined the club.
Yeah, exactly. And and it was one of those things where I remember getting the NBN and going, Chris, when I get the NBN, the podcast is going to go live on Twitch.
Yes.
And it's something that's really cool as well. Like I'm able to stream us as well on Twitch and do the podcast there, and which has helped, like, even myself become a Twitch affiliate, which is nothing that I was it was something that I wasn't even thinking about. I didn't want to become a Twitch affiliate or anything like that, but it was just a case of getting the podcast out there live to people who are interested in listening to us live, and it was really cool. And I thought to myself, you know what, if it helps us, then it helps the podcast, and I'm down for it. And it does. It really does, and I'm really, really, really happy with that. Speaking of that, your Twitch year, how did you set yourself any goals back in 2017? I'd say early 2017 that you've kind of maybe reached or haven't reached yet, or anything that you're kind of thinking of? Oh man, I'm lacking here, or I'm really doing well here, but I'm neglecting this at the moment, and I'd really like to do that in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal for like overall with Twitch is just to grow it to be as big a community as I want. So like I want to, introduce more like-minded people to the same space. We've had a whole heap of people come through the channel recently, and we're going to plug like a really cool feature that Twitch has added recently is like channels you may like. Yeah. And I think that's actually played really well to not only me, but like smaller streamers.
Yeah.
I say smaller streamers. Don't use the hashtag support smaller streamers. It's just like support streamers
support
overall.
Streamers,
yeah. But that's a tangent. I think like the thing I'm trying to focus on the most is growing that community, and sometimes I get a little bit distracted by other things. I don't really focus on Twitch as much. Yeah. And I think 2019, I wanted this year to be the year, but there's been a lot going on anyway. Ruby is moving here in the start of 2019. I think that's going to be a huge part in both of us, like helping each other grow. Yeah. But I've got a pretty good feeling about 2019 being like the year that we're going to get this done. And like, I know a purple tick is only a little icon next to your name, but like once you grow to that size and it snowballs, like it's the best kind of snowball you can think of. Like people see your content, you get recognized more often, you start to grow quicker.
To some people, it's more than just a purple tick.
Yeah. It's there's not a lot that depends on it, I think, but like once you hit partner, from what I've heard, it's you don't stop working, of course. Like once you get the purple tick, you can't just stop and relax. Like
there's an end goal there.
That's like you get the purple tick, and then it's like, okay, now to prove why I deserve this forever. Like continue to push and grow, and if people come, I don't ever want to get partnered and have people look at my channel and think, why does he have that? How did he earn this? I want it to be like, oh yeah, that's why they're a partner.
Yeah, there's not to kind of point fingers or anything, but there are certain streamers out there who do have that purple tick, and they look at it as just a purple tick, and some of them even have it and are just like, you even question it. There are some people that go, and it's unavoidable sometimes. You just go, why does this person have that again? Yeah. But there are some out there, like there are some big names out there, like we can name some off the top of our head, like Vondel, Nazy.
Vondel, Pixel, Nazy, Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby. Fucking hell, Ruby. Jesus Christ, has she had an amazing year.
She's had an amazing year.
Yeah, holy shit. So, like, there are some big people out there, who are making some waves in the community out there, especially Pixel. You just mentioned Pixel as well. Like, she's had an amazing year as well, which has been really cool to see. And congratulations to all those people who have had a fantastic year on Twitch and all that. But there are some really hard workers out there who do deserve it, and who have worked really hard. And you're one of them as well. I've always said that. I've always said that you are, like, one of the hardest workers on Twitch. And that's what I personally believe as well. And I think that 2019 might be your year, which is going to be really good to see that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope so. Now, in speaking of which, early 2015, we launched a podcast called The Dashcast.
Oh yeah, where's my aim?
Yeah, with Kieran. Yeah, and I remember when we launched it, you were very hesitant towards doing it. You weren't comfortable in front of a mic.
No.
You weren't comfortable, which was funny because at the time you had turned around and said, listen, I don't know if I'm going to have much time to do this now because I'm going to go off and do 64 bytes. Yep. And I was cool with that because it was something that was going to be different. Mm-hmm. And so you went off, and Kieran and I decided that we were just going to drop the pod.
Yep. Now here we are.
Yeah, and now here we are. How are you feeling now, us launching this sort of style podcast? I mean, I know it's not like today we're doing something a little bit different here and recording something like a resolution kind of deal.
Yeah.
But we also did just prior to this our dancing special, but usually it's our Persona 5 deal. How are you finding doing this kind of style podcast, and necessarily like that's something different to compared to like what pretty much I can say that our podcast is unique compared to like Dash Culture is something that I do on the side with Buddy, and it's a pop culture podcast that's essentially like what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
They go through pop culture, they go through video games, and they review them on their podcast, and they pretty much talk about topical stuff and everything. I feel like what we're doing isn't topical, but it's niche.
You've stolen the word right out of my mouth. Yeah. It's very, very niche, and I think this podcast caters to a different kind of community.
Yeah.
Obviously right now it's very much, it's literally only Persona 5 focused until January 29.
Yeah.
Like when we do Dash and Holmesy Open Your Hearts, like that's coming up, and that's Kingdom Hearts.
And that'll be topical, but I think it'll also be niche at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I think we cater to a very different audience, and we're also very, this type of content requires a different part of your personality. Like the way that I talk on this pod, the way that I am, like I'm still me. But like if it was my own content and my own like my Twitch stuff, like I think I'm a lot different. I behave a lot differently on my Twitch channel compared to how I behave on a pod. Yeah. It requires a different level of focus and a different kind of, I guess, presence.
Yes.
So I think that it's cool to be able to do the different type of content that we're doing. I love doing it with you because I know that we've been wanting to do something like this
for years now,
for a while, and now we have the time to do it, and I'm in the same place. But we're also filming this in person. Like we just did the dancing.
We're not even filming.
We're also recording. This in person. We're doing this like across the desk, across the table in my house right now.
It's different,
I've never done something like this before. No. It's great though. I'm super comfortable with this. I love doing it. And I think like the podcast in the future has got a pretty bright future ahead of it.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. And the reason I say that is because of the hesitation you had back in 2015 as well for actually doing the Dashcast. Because it was something that was kind of like what I'm doing right now with Buddy in terms of Dash Culture. Pop culture podcast. We're talking about video games. We're talking about what was hot back then as well. I remember the first episode we talked about. And you know what's funny is that we've seen how far Alana Pierce has actually gotten in the gaming community.
Yep.
That first episode of the Dashcast was actually about that time she got bullied online.
Yeah, there was because she sent that picture of the screenshots of the chat to the mum, and the mum was like,
"Right,
not my son."
Yeah, that's right.
Never again.
That was the first and only podcast that we did that got published. Well, we did 2 episodes. But the first podcast was the only one that got published. Mm-hmm. The second one I don't have no idea where it's gone. It's probably on my computer somewhere. But yeah, the thing is, it's funny how far you've come from seeing like that moment of hesitation to now actually starting in 2018, where I approached you earlier in the back in March and gave you the game, and I said, would you do a podcast every 3 weeks? And you even then like said to me, man, I don't know if I'd be comfortable doing it, but you know what, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm kind of happy that you kind of did now, because it's actually expanded your horizons now.
Yeah.
Because you were primarily focused and set on Twitch, and not to say that you're not, still you are, but the thing is, you now have that behind you where you're a Twitch streamer and you're a podcaster now too.
Yes, yeah.
You know, you're not just a Twitch streamer. It's something that also will, you know, I believe also said that's going to benefit you in the future.
It's something to put on the resume.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, I like doing this as well because I don't get to talk like this much on stream. Right. It's only when usually this kind of the way that we're talking now and what we're talking about, this kind of transparent conversation is usually something I'll do maybe at the end of a stream. Like I'm sure if I stream on New Year's Eve, I'm sure I'm going to have like a sit down with like my viewers and be like, hey, hope you guys had a great year. This is what I want to do, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But to be able to do this regularly together it's fun. It's nice to have a different type of content, different approach, and also just audio only sometimes is just really fun to do.
That's right, yeah. It's sometimes being necessarily in front of a camera all the time can be a bit draining.
Yeah.
Because you always have to put on a show sometimes in front of a camera all the time.
Yeah.
Which is something that I you know, even though that's something that you want to drive towards in being a Twitch partner as well, audio content sometimes can be a little bit more laxing in terms of just like me and you right now across the table. Like we do the podcast usually on Twitch.
Yep.
But today's podcast, the 2 podcasts that we're doing today, we did the dancing one and we're doing this one now, but they're just us. It's just us, me and you talking. Mm-hmm. And especially this one here where I just said to you, hey, if you want to have some time after we do this, I want to talk to you a little bit about your goals for next year.
Yeah.
And our goals, you know. And you're like, yeah, I'm keen. And this is something that's a little bit different, especially for us, because as I said, we're primarily a niche podcast, but this is something that I just wanted to kind of sit down and have a chill chat and see where we are mentally at the moment within the the content creators sphere, I guess, if you put it that way. You know, because we've been doing this now. How long have you been doing? You've been doing this since 2001, 2011?
2010. I started 28th of October 2010 is the birth of my
YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel, the name, yeah.
Yeah. And it has been a long road, basically, from then to now. And honestly, I've known you since the end of 2011. I'm going to say the end of 2011 or maybe 2012.
Yeah, 2012, yeah.
It's
been 6 years.
I'll never forget.
7 years.
I'll never forget the moment that I knew we were going to be mates was when you called me drunk on Skype. So we were just known each other probably about a good 2 months at this point.
I don't remember this.
And I'm going to bring this up now. So this guy calls me drunk on Skype New Year's Eve, 2011 or 12. I can't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it was 2011.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, dude, Happy New Year. I'm like, Holmesy. I go, Chris. I go, what's up, man? And he goes, oh man, I just got home, a bit wasted, but I thought I'd give you a call, say Happy New Year. I'm like, Happy New Year, dude. And he's like, yeah. He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, I'm doing not much, man. And he goes, want to play some PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale?
Oh my god.
I'm like, yeah, bro.
That is a niche game too.
Yeah,
Far out, man.
shit, right? So yeah, that I like at that moment, I'm like, well, this can't just call me on Skype. I might as well just hang out with him a little bit. And we did have had a nice chat, and I thought, okay, this guy's going to be a good mate, and that was really cool. And I knew that then as well when we had those conversations, you always talked about how you had goals and you strive for those goals, and every year you didn't hit them completely, but you hit them. Like as in, for a good example is this year, the Aussie Game Awards.
Yeah, that was great.
Mate, you got the opportunity to go and be a host at the Aussie Game Awards, which is something that's awesome and something I'm very proud of you for, because it's something that, like, and we'll talk about the show in a little bit because I do want to touch base on that with you a little bit, your thoughts on it. Regardless of how the presentation of the show went, it is something that is major for our community to recognize. I'd say recognize some of the content creators that actually are putting out content there in this sphere at the moment. I'm not going to necessarily say highlighting some of the game developers, because I think I'm going to touch on that. But for you to actually be up there to represent the gaming sphere and be one of those hosts, to be pinpointed out and said, hey, Holmesy's going to be one of the hosts to actually give out an award. I think that says something about where you are right now within this community. And I think that's something that you definitely should be proud of, and I hope you are. And it's just, it's awesome to see how far you've come between your start date to now, and where you want to go in 2019 as well. For me personally, starting back in 2006, because I'm an old man now, and doing shitty YouTube video game reviews on a Nokia, no, not even a Razer, not a Razer, Motorola Razer camera.
Oh gosh,
flip cams.
No way, dude.
My dad brought home also a Nokia something or other, which had a really cool camera on it, which I started using for that afterwards. And 480p.
Yeah, that was good back then, though.
Yeah, they were very good for back then, yeah. But I like starting that, doing black and white overlays and talking about video games, to something where I took a break for a long time because I just wasn't interested. But now to come back in 2018 to do content like this has really reinvigorated what I've wanted to do in terms of content creation, whether it be podcasting on camera, writing, or whatever. Because I was writing with you.
Yeah.
Back on Dash Hacks.
Oh, yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
before I was even Dash.
Yeah, it was Dash. Yeah,
Dash Hacks.
Yeah.
I wasn't even Dash.
I'm sad to see that site's done now.
Yeah.
It's still live, but it stopped in 2017.
Yeah.
They haven't posted anything since.
No, which is something that both of us were like. It's kind of hidden a little bit. There are curtains in front of it now.
Yeah.
But we were both prominent in the hacking community.
Quote unquote hacking.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go modding community.
Homebrew community. Yeah. Where you were pretty much oh man, and this was before I even met you as well. Seeing your tutorial videos on YouTube of you modding PS3 home screens and everything.
Yeah.
And I saw your logo come up. I'm like, who's this motherfucker teaching me? This little kid teaching me how to fucking put a custom logo on my PS3.
Boot logo. Yeah. Yes, that was my jam. That was so much fun.
Yeah. But to see kind of how you've actually gone from that to becoming like, I'm getting games from PlayStation. I'm officially sponsored. This is thanks to PlayStation for sending me this game. Sponsored by this company and this company. Even like our podcast we're doing today, sponsored by Audio Technica.
Yep.
It's something that I think speaks to true nature of how far the gaming content sphere has come in terms of big companies like that actually recognizing how far content creation has come online now and how prominent it has become. Because we see it all the time with Amazon ads on Twitch with Ninja, and now we've got Geek and Game Girl, Chinglish and all that, doing that bird box challenge where they wrap their head.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen those? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's real, and that's by Netflix.
Yeah, it is too. Yeah, I noticed Geek doing that, and I was wondering what that was about. And now I've just I didn't actually realize that was the same thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering what this movie was. That's cool.
Yeah, it's apparently it's on Netflix, and they've been
original. Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, and so they're they're doing those kind of things now. But it's showing how prominent also the Aussie gaming community
Yes.
as well. If they're
Yeah.
getting Aussies to do that.
It's definitely good to see how much has changed. Like back in, well, I'm going to drop machinima right now. Comparing like that things back then to things now, like there was very clearly like a focus on like the biggest of the big.
Yeah.
And like now, like there's so much, people see the value in content creators of any size.
Yeah.
And it's business. I'm saying people see the value. People aren't obviously numbers, but like
Yeah.
if someone's out there trying to get you to do something for them, there's a reason they're doing it, not just because they like you. You could be a really likable person, but if you've got one follower, unfortunately, business is not going to work with you. It's nice to see now how much that collaboration between brands and PR companies has expanded to people of my size,
Yeah.
larger, even sometimes smaller.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I think it doesn't really matter in terms of how much of a following. It depends on how much of a reach you have these days too.
Yeah, sorry. I guess, your reach. Yeah, of course.
Because a good example is, I mean, we've got 17 followers on our SoundCloud account, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our reach, nearly every episode, is about nearly 1,000 hits per episode.
Yeah,
right?
yes. Yeah.
And that's also what helped us. I mean, the Persona Dancing Endless Night collection was actually brought to us by 5-Star.
Thanks, 5-Star.
And they, thank you very much, 5-Star. And they helped us out, with that, 8-Bit, for an example, is something that we both create content for in terms of our podcasting. But we're also sponsored by Audio-Technica through them, right? Which is awesome. And it's because of 8-Bit's reach that we're able to do that. Also because of how much of a reach we have to actually get the, the gift, I guess, that keeps giving.
Yeah.
The essential nod by Audio-Technica to have, equipment given to us to help us out make the podcast better. It just helps a lot these days to actually strive to do multiple content creations as well, which is what I mentioned before with Twitch and podcasting and all that stuff. YouTube. I feel like with YouTube now, a lot of people have moved on.
It's a tough platform to continue to grow on now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot that's changed. Like even this is obviously not the same kind of content, but even people like obviously Filthy Frank stop making content now.
Yeah.
But like I'm picking these guys not just because I watch them, but because of the type of content they make. Like,
Yeah.
Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, iDubbbz, they've all had to change their brand and their content now because the stuff that they made before, it was funny, I liked it, but it was offensive, and unfortunately, because of the way the YouTube monetization works now, it's not brand appropriate, and they get flagged with a yellow dollar sign all the time, so they don't make any money from it.
That's right.
Like to make money on YouTube now is like one thing for people who are large content creators. If it's hard for large content creators, imagine what it must be like for people that are smaller as well.
Yeah.
To try and get that growth. If you want to make YouTube a business and make your brand something you can live off of, it's even harder than it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, I feel that with trying to establish something like a brand that is niche, like Filthy Franks and iDubbbz and all that stuff, it is going to be difficult these days with more of a politically correct sphere now in the realm of things. You can't really get away with a lot of what you were doing back then on YouTube, like back in 2006, 2007.
No.
It's different now these days. And I feel sometimes for the better, in a way, just to kind of make a safer environment for everybody, just to kind of make sure that, not to police everything or anything, because I'm personally against policing everything, but I'm just not, I feel that having a look at what kind of content is going up as well is a good thing, but at the same time also create. Like I've said to you many times, not the biggest fan of iDubbbz and Filthy Frank.
No.
You are. I know that you are. There are some videos that I've seen that I've kind of had a chuckle at a little bit, and obvious memes that I've sent you as well that are offensive or anything like that I've had a chuckle at. But it's nothing that I personally would sit there and watch like every single Filthy Frank or iDubbbz video. I just think that also business wise, it's not the smartest decision.
It's not brand safe.
No, it's not. I mean, you're not going to see Coca-Cola sponsor a Filthy Frank video.
No.
So, in the long run, to actually make it your job, to actually make it safe, obviously, stuff like what you do is brand safe. Obviously, like, all you're doing is basically jumping onto Twitch these days and playing some games.
That's it.
You're making some content as well with Respawn Ninja. As well, you're the community manager now.
Or? My role there is the community manager for the stream team, but I think we need to, and we're going to plan a little bit more clarity around that role because I don't really do much right now.
Right.
I'm just I guess the person that helps to choose who's in the team.
Yeah.
And like kind of like I guess talent scouts, quote unquote, but I don't really have too much more of a role there right now.
Yeah.
2019, that is also part of next year, I guess. Like 2019 is going to be hopefully a lot more work with Respawn, trying to It's more to come. I won't tell you guys too much. There's already Dash. I'll tell you off pod.
That's all right. All good. No, that's all right. That's fair. No, Holmesy, I want to also touch on the Aussie Game Awards a little bit because they were just recent, and I know that you. So I feel like this is going to be one of those things where me and you kind of have opposite ends of the spectrum on this a little bit, because obviously you were involved, and you went there for the night. I was nominated as Social Media God this year. Which I was honoured to actually be even thought of. Go for it. It's all right. This is a more relaxed podcast, man. I don't give a shit. You can do whatever you want. Holmes is getting some water. It's all right. I feel like everything that kind of transpired through the Aussie Game Awards, when it started, it was a big thing. And everybody was getting really excited about it. One thing, when I approached you weeks beforehand of it, because I said to you, hey, I got some word that it's going to happen. And you were like, thank you. You were like, oh man. And I told you, I said, I'm hearing that there's planning to set up new awards. Only because I got some word from that they were going to set up some awards because I was doing the Dash Awards every year. Mm-hmm. And you were like, man, you want to do it at GG Easy or anything like that? I'm like, oh, we'll think about that next year, you know? Or, you know, if I can or anything like that. And I remember I tweeted it out on Twitter, and I tweeted to Joel, and I tweeted to MCV, and I said, great news for Aussie community that they're getting the awards out. My final 4 words to them were, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
All right. And I received a response from somebody on Twitter, and I turned around and said, no, I mean it. I said, don't fuck it up, because I know how hard it is to do something like this. It's not easy to, as small, I believe as small, everybody makes it out to be like this is a big thing, but as small as the Dash Awards really are, it is difficult to set up, especially this year. I had over 30 judges this year.
Yep.
And to get them all to all fill out a paper form or Google form,
it's difficult.
Was difficult in itself.
And you're doing this solo.
Yeah. Everything is done. So I haven't even finished. We are recording this on the 30th of December, and I still haven't given everybody an award yet.
Oh, no
I've still got 5 more to announce. And that'll probably be announced over the next week.
Cool.
But the thing is, like, I know how hard it is to organize something like that and to get it all organized, just in terms of just the award spectrum. Joel had to organize a venue, the actual trophies, the seating, the dinner, all this other stuff, the lighting, the effects, the camera work, all this stuff, ticketing. Holy shit!
Presenters, the host,
yes,
finances,
yes. And that's the thing, right? There were some fuck ups there too that I'm going to talk about, which was the ticketing as well. And I'm going to be full transparent on this one as well, because I mentioned this also on the other New Year's special that I've got going, the Dash Culture one. So I got approached to go as well, and Joel said, "Hey, I've got one of my staff members to approach you." I'm like, "Cool." The staff member turned around and said, "Hey, we got this going. You've been nominated. We'd like you to come. We're giving you 45% off your ticket." Mm-hmm. I said that I might be working, which was true. I was working. Christmas time, you work at JB. It's not easy.
You're working retail.
Yeah, it's not easy to get out of. You know. Anyway, at the same time, $199 for a VIP ticket, and I said this on the New Year's special. Mm. You're probably going to hear it as well. I go, VIP tickets to go meet your favorite guests and Holmesy is what I said. But the thing is, like I said, Holmesy's my mate, if anything. So I can see him anytime I fucking want. The thing is, though, like the VIP tickets, that $199, I think was a humongous ask, especially for nominees to actually pay at a 45% discount rate, which is still at like $120 for me to attend an event that I was actually nominated for. And then I found out there was some nominees who actually were invited directly, got their shit paid for to be there. And then there were some nominees who didn't get invited directly, but got paid for by companies to be there with them. Barjo did not get invited.
Okay.
One of the biggest prominent creators in the sphere, the YouTube, like the Twitch sphere, the Twitch creative sphere, didn't get invited, and wasn't even a presenter. Mm-hmm. I find it as a problem. when you do something like that. Because if you were really thinking about, because I know that Barger just moved over to Adelaide.
Yeah.
And so he's got,
Congrats to him and Jen.
Congrats, yeah. So he's got stuff going on over there. And I'm not speaking for Barjo or anything like that here, but what I'm saying is, like, if you sat there creatively and said, we want to try and get Barjo and Hex to actually host the show, because that'd be a great, good game reunion to have those two host the show. So there were things like that. They even said, like, he was sitting at home watching the show and he looked at it and he sat there on Twitch and goes, and then switched back to streaming again. He was streaming while the awards were going.
All right.
Right. Parallel views on each stream. I think that says something, at least, about how people felt about the awards in itself. My personal view on the awards were they weren't such a great success, but they were somewhat of a success for putting on the show.
Yeah.
My gripes were, if you're going to have an award show and there's going to be winners, at least have some of the winners present to accept their award, give a speech. And if those winners are present to get their awards, let them have a speech. Don't push them off the stage. These people are hard workers, especially Jigsy's Mrs. Ray Johnson.
Ray with the sneaky double speech. I was so happy to see that. She jumped
on there and gave that fucking speech. And I was like, yes, woman, speak.
It was well deserved.
Yes, definitely. And I was happy to see her do that. But there were moments, like you said before we started recording, with the music that kept playing over and over and over.
Yeah.
That's production.
Yeah.
And that was a problem.
Yeah. Some of it went well. Some of it didn't go so well.
What do you think? Tell me what do you think went well?
I think, and I can shed some more light on, like, the whole speeches and presentation kind of stuff there as well.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a little bit of timing stuff there, but
well, obviously renting out a building you only get some certain time.
Certain amount of time. Yeah. Not only that, but I don't know how or who or why, but the nominations and winners and being given a heads up for speeches and being invited, they couldn't release any of that information because it was on Sportsbet. So if somebody had told me, like, hey, press start, one best publication and the odds are 26-1, I'd be like, okay, here is my entire savings. I'll put on 26-1 odds on press start winning. Okay, whatever I put in 26 times back would be easy money. That'd be obviously, that's inside gambling. You can't do that. That's illegal. And like, as soon as you know that stuff, you have to sign NDAs to say, like, you're not going to share that information, you're not going to bet. So there's a whole bunch of extra stuff there, which is difficult because as soon as you start saying, like, hey, we're going to invite you and pay for you to come here because you may be a winner, like, it's collusion. It's a little bit difficult to kind of, I think there's a bit of a gray area there, but there's a lot of legal risks. So I think that's probably part of it. But I think, like, the people that organize, like Jenny, who opted us out as a presenter, like, she was amazing. She was super clear. Same with Joel.
Yep.
They gave us all the information we needed. The cards were great. The only problem with one of the cards is Ruby had a typo on hers.
All right. Yeah.
There was also a typo on one of the Razor slides. They wrote Razor as RAZOR instead of
I saw that. Yeah.
But these are, like, tiny little, like, nitpicky things. I think people blew those up to be way bigger than they were. Like, okay, it's an O instead of an E. It's not like it's suddenly the worst awards in the world because of something like that. Obviously, there's limited time. There's only a certain size.
I think there's a problem with it when you actually have the spelling right in front of you, though.
True, but Razor is also not... RAZER is not the correct spelling for Razor. So
no, obviously not. OR is, As
soon as you type RAZER and that gets underlined, but OR doesn't. Autocorrect is obviously just been a jerk to somebody. So I get that, though,
Yeah.
But I think, like, a lot of little things got blown up to be bigger than they were.
I agree.
Like, unfortunately, things like Vondel's emotes got banned in chat too. Like,
which is bullshit, because I was there when I saw that. Yeah,
that happened, and obviously, like, clearly, like, again, I think that also got blown up to be bigger than it was. But I feel bad for Vondel's emotes being banned. But whoever was the moderator, obviously, also, because this isn't just a games industry event.
Yeah,
I think there's a bit of a blurred line where people think that the games industry and the media industry or journalism industry are the same thing.
They're not.
So, whoever the moderator was or moderators were in the chat, if they'd seen those emotes being spammed, if they don't know who Vondel is, then they would have just seen it and been like, ban this particular thing. Like, we don't want this spam in the chat. We want to see content about the awards. So, that, and then, like, there was the music that they played the same song every time the winner was announced.
Yeah, annoying.
Again, big thing that was blown up. The thing that was blown up to be bigger than it actually was. I can understand, like,
it was annoying though.
Repetitive music can get. I can definitely understand, like, hearing the same song. I know, like, the game awards in the US or whatever, like the one that they do there.
Well, there's licensing as well. Yeah.
I mean, like, there's certain things that people, I guess certain licensing issues people have to tiptoe around as well, but like you've got like game trailers playing, and like when the winner gets announced for like those awards, they play the game trailer with the audio plus music. So with this one, it was the same song each time. Some people got frustrated with that. Me personally, it didn't bug me. Even being there live at the event, I was just kind of like, oh, it's the same song. Okay, whatever. But a lot of people in the chat I feel like some people just wanted something to complain about. There were definitely things that could have been done better. Like I didn't personally, I'm not a big fan of, and this is not for just this specific awards, but like any awards. And I'm sorry, this is also about yours too.
That's all right.
I'm not a fan of like awards being given based on community votes.
Okay.
I feel like a committee vote based on like judges that are from a variety of different spaces makes it more fair, because otherwise it just turns into a popularity contest.
Yep.
And that's like a bigger thing, I guess.
I feel that, and it's funny that you brought that up, because I brought this up on the other end of year special that I did. So my deal with popularity contests is this. So when a community gets a vote and a say on what their game of the year is, I believe that's what the game of the year is, right? Now, this year I tied 3. What?
You've just said something as well. Some of those things, though, yes, game of the year. Some awards I think deserve a community vote.
Yep.
Others, though, I think deserve a judge panel vote.
So
like,
I agree. No, and I agree, and that's why also this year I have judges awards too. So I don't have just Game of the Year voted by the community. I also have Game of the Year voted by the judges.
Yeah.
Right. So this year I have 3 community Game of the Years. Right. And this is probably the first time anybody's going to hear this. If you listen to this before I even announce it, that's fine. So it's Celeste, Red Dead Redemption, and God of War. Right. By the way, you got to play Celeste. Fucking awesome game. What was I going to say? The God of War. Right. So last year we had 4. Which were Persona 5, Super Mario Odyssey, Zelda, and Horizon. Okay? My ruling is that if they tie, they tie. And the reason I say that, and a lot of people are like, oh, they shouldn't tie, there should only be one game of the year. No, there shouldn't only be one. That is a glorified popularity contest in my eyes, right? Because if there's only one winner, what's to say that those other 3 or 4 or 2, whatever, that got those even votes aren't game of the year as well?
Yeah, there's obviously an even amount of people that like those games at the same time. I agree with that.
Right.
I think so. The chances of them tying are so, like, depending on like how many votes you get, though, like that's very, very small odds, but it's possible. Yeah,
exactly. I believe that also keeping it segregated to a judge's vote also makes a glorified popularity contest on a corporate level instead of what we... Like, for example, I'll put it this way. I understand what you're saying is that the community voting becomes a popularity contest, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
Right? The judges, though, that get involved in that, there's a popularity contest there too, but there's also a sense of favoritism as well. So the judges that I get to nominate every year, I make sure that they have some sort of standing in the community as well.
Yeah.
They are approached and by a lot of, sponsors, or whether they're actually running those kind of things. So, for example, Jess McCallum and Astro Kerry, who run the anime lab side of things, right? I approached those guys. They were more than happy. And I wanted to have them be a part of the anime award, which was a new one this year, right? And I had primarily set judges for those awards. But I had an open vote for everybody to have their say on it if they wanted to vote an anime award. But to be honest, I was only looking for probably like 5 people to nominate in that, right? Game of the Year, same deal. There were primarily set judges who I thought, you know what, they should have their say. The others are there if they want, and if I don't have enough, I'll have more than enough there. Yeah. So it's just a case of, if I know who won the Judges Award, I won't say that yet because that'll probably be spoilers. But the thing is, I can understand what you're saying in terms of a glorified popularity contest. This is primarily why I was never really a fan of awards at the start, but now I kind of have opened up a little bit to it because for me, it's numbers and stats at the end of it. I love numbers and stats. That's my thing. And seeing these kind of numbers and stats in terms of how big and popular and growth everything is, because if anybody came to me and said, man, Red Dead Redemption, you know that this and this and that about Red Dead and Red Dead, I could be like, yeah, but you do realize that I run these awards over here, and otherwise said that God of War and Celeste are pretty much on the same level.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just a case of, that's why I like to do that kind of thing, because I get to see those stats.
Yep.
Not for a popularity thing, but for a numbers thing.
Yeah.
But I can understand like giving a trophy or a medal or whatever it is becomes hey, I'm the best and you're not.
Yeah.
That is ego. And we run into a lot of that in the industry, which is unfortunate.
Fortunately, I don't think we saw any of that during the awards. So like all the people that got the awards were respectable about it. Everybody was like,
yeah.
I think everyone that attended the event went there with an open mind about it.
Yeah.
I think as much negativity came out of the whole thing with some people, I think like something to take away from it is that this is the first time anybody's ever run this.
Yeah.
Joel, MCV, like the whole thing, they, to my knowledge at least, and like to this scale, apart from the IGN like beta awards, and that's not even like a games award thing, that's self-run by them.
Yeah.
We don't have a games awards in Australia. This is the first time anything like this in this region has ever been run.
Yeah.
And I think for someone to take the reins and do this for the first time, Joel has taken criticism like on the chin so well. He's handled everything.
I messaged him the next day.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, good job. I said, I think you really did well.
Yeah.
I said, there's obvious things that you need to fix.
And he knows that too. Yeah, I think that's the best part. Like he's to be self-critical like that and look back at it and know what you like, to reflect on an event that you not obviously Joel hasn't run the whole thing by himself.
No, obviously
the MCV
not.
team and like everyone involved have done an amazing job. Even like the team at Luna Park that were working there were super friendly and nice.
Yeah.
But to be able to be so self-aware of what went well and what went wrong and take that feedback on and be transparent about everything, I think takes a lot of integrity and a lot of honesty and just a very open mind. So there's a lot of respect that's due for the people that ran it. There's definitely things that could have been done better, and I'm sure there's things that could have been done better with the Game Awards in the US. Like, people making jokes about like saying Fortnite won like mobile game. What was it? I know it was something that happened at the
Red Dead was the meme that was going around. There was a lot of Red Deads.
That was
even to the point where Jeff Keighley was up on stage going, here's another one from Red Dead.
Yeah.
So it was.
There was that. There was a presenter for the award there that said something about like the winner is Fortnite. Nah, just kidding. It's something else. Like that. You don't do that. You don't tell someone. Because when he said the winner was Fortnite, the person who was there for Fortnite got up to get the award and then went, nah, sorry, jokes, it's not you, it's someone else. Like, that's rude and disrespectful. Nothing like that happened at the Australian Games Awards.
Of course not,
But I think I summarised what I've just said.
I think...
Took it all on the chin, did it really well.
I think if Joel wants to do it like this, I mean, I understand what he wants to do, but I think it would be more of a respectable event if it was closed. Kind of like the BAFTA Awards do it.
BAFTA.
Have you heard of the BAFTA Awards?
I've heard the name before, but I don't know what it is.
So you can Google it if you want. It's just mainly like an Actors Guild Awards, basically.
Oh, okay.
A little bit like that. So the BAFTA Awards, they have it closed. The DICE Awards. Have you heard of those?
I've heard of those as well,
Yeah. So the DICE Awards, the BAFTA Awards, kind of like those things there. Because they also acknowledge like video game actors and all that stuff for the BAFTAs. DICE Awards are more of video game. They're the video game awards, but they're closed. Like it's not streamed or anything like that.
Right. Okay.
I feel like if the Aussie Game Awards really want to get ahead, that's kind of like what their approach needs to be to start with, so that it's not conceived as a total shitfest. In front of people, so that they're looking at this because props to them for actually trying to film it on Twitch and everything else, but it came out looking like somebody got their iPhone out and went like this.
Yeah. I think next year is going to be, because there's I think the best part about this first event, and like, I mean, this isn't to the same scale, of course, but like, I'll look at the first stream I ever did versus the most recent streams that I've done. Nowadays, I have my stream for a little while became a meme about like, technical difficulty. His mic failed again, he's like one of his scenes.
Every time, Holmesy, your mic,
unplug, replug my mic. Like things like that. Like you can see, like this is like I said, much smaller scale. But you look at like how much I've learned. Although it's a repeat stream thing, like every day, like I learn more and more.
Yeah.
But like you look at the beginning versus now. I've been streaming now for nearly, I think it's 3 years. In March or June, somewhere in that time.
Yep.
But like the stream in that 3 years has come so far.
Yeah, it has.
And this is the first time. And the hardest part I think about this, like granted you can look at other games awards like around the world, but you have none of your own personal data to look at to see how it performed and reflect on what went right and what went wrong.
Yep.
The fact that in a way it's almost good that there were a fair few things that could have been done better, because the next year, I think the second year, once this comes around, whatever they do to refine, whatever went good stays the same, or they can improve on it. But those things that didn't go well, or that had like issues, they're going to be cleaned up and focused on. And I think the second year that this happens, because I know there's going to be a second year, there's got to be a second year of these awards.
Yeah,
it's going to be so much better in leaps and bounds, because they're going to know what they have to improve on. They have their data about what what they got feedback for.
Yeah.
And I think failure is almost like one of the best tools for future gain and future growth.
I agree.
I say failure, like it's not really failing, it's just a learning experience.
That's right, yeah, learning curves,
I think that there's a lot to take away from it, and like, I think Joel and the MCV team are the right people to do it.
Yeah, I agree. No, I completely agree with you. Like I said, it was something that I kind of sat back and watched and said, man, like, not for anything, and no jealousy or anything like that as well. Like, I sat back and I said, man, it was something that I pretty much was striving towards with the Dash Awards. And for him to take over, like, to him, I feel, I said this in the Aussie Game Awards, my Dash Culture end of year. I felt like I was kind of running the Aussie Game Awards for 4 years. And it got to that point where last year's awards blew up, like, big time. And this year, it got even bigger.
Yeah.
And I was, like, Jolt actually approached me and said, listen, we want to cover the Aussie Game Awards, the Dash Awards on MCV as well.
So, yeah,
I was like,
they
fuck,
did too.
I go, holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's amazing too. That's really cool.
Yeah. And, it was something that I was kind of proud of as well, that Joel actually approached me to do that as well. And look, with Joel's awards, I actually approached Joel and I said, look, I can't do much in terms of trying to give you exposure. I go, but I want to help in a way. So we'll see what happens there. So hopefully something will come out of that. But I think all in all, with the Aussie Game Awards, yes, I agree. I think next year is going to be better for them. There's going to be a lot of learning from what they did well and what they didn't do well, and I think it's going to be a lot better next year for 100%. Them. Holmesy, we'll wrap this up with what are your goals for next year?
So I definitely want to, like, obviously Twitch is still going to be my primary focus. My own small time goal, I guess, is to get partnered. Like, I'd love to be able to reach, not get the purple tick, but what you need to do to reach that kind of eligibility, having the, your concurrent viewers. And I want to grow the community to the point where I'm eligible to do that and then keep growing further. I do also want to start looking at YouTube a little bit more again. We've grown a community there based on the type of content that I've made, and I know that given probably, I say 6 years total of doing the content that I have on there, I know that I'm able to do reviews and how-tos well.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get back into that, whether it's gaming or tech related.
Yeah.
Maybe News in 5, who knows?
Maybe News in 5.
That's an old series that we might bring back, who knows?
News in 5.
News in 5,
Holy shit.
There's an old one. I went through and watched a few videos recently and I thought, maybe.
You could do them better now.
I could definitely do them better now. Production quality has gone quite a
lot.
Yeah. I'm looking at that a little bit, but we'll see. It depends on, obviously, time as well. Want to do content with Ruby. Ruby's moving here in less than 3 weeks now, so that's outrageously exciting. I'm so keen for that.
Yep.
I want to be more social, try and go out and see people more as well. I've made a lot of friends working and living here now as well, so I think getting out more. I spend a lot of time at home.
Okay.
I'd like to get out and socialize more.
You should. You live in Melbourne now, mate.
Yep. Yeah. That's I'm part and parcel of that, I guess. Like, I do want to do. I'd like to. So I came up with a little bit of an idea where I wanted to create like a Discord and get people to go out and eat food together. Like, get a group together and socialize. Go out and be like, hey, let's go to Fat in Brunswick and eat like fried chicken and waffles and just socialize with content creators and people in the community. There's more to that. I know Ruby has her own ideas as well, so I guess we're gonna maybe see if we can collaborate on that.
Nice.
But more to come. Not gonna reveal too much right
That's
now.
all right. Yep.
That's pretty much it though. And Japan. I want to go to Japan with Ruby.
Nice.
I'd like to go on another holiday. I haven't been to Japan
2 years
for just over 2. It was 2015. I went to 16, 17.
So 3 years
now. 3 years now since I've been to Japan. So
nice.
I saw the vlogs that I took from when I was there as well, and I would love to go back again. I need another PS Vita.
Everybody says that. Like, everybody says that they want to go back to Japan. I used to work with this group. I won't say their name, but they recently moved over to Japan as well, and they live there now just because of the sheer love of actually seeing the sights and everything. They were like, man, I have fallen in love with this place. We need to move. And they did. They moved there to live now. So
that's awesome.
I've never been. I'd love to go one day.
Go during March, April, May, cherry blossom season.
Beautiful.
Like spring around, I think that as well. So that's prime time.
Very cool. I'll definitely be looking out for that. Look, my goals for next year.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah. I guess mine are going to be primarily focused on creating new content for the YouTube channel. But also, like, no, not primarily for the YouTube channel. I think primarily will be the podcasting. YouTube channel will be second on my to do, but I definitely want to create more content for YouTube as well. But I want to create content that's in production wise looks fucking amazing. My editing skills have come a long way, and I can say that.
They definitely have, yeah.
Since I first started, and now I know there's a lot of things I know what to do and everything. Make stuff look good and make stuff look sexy and all this stuff. I mean, I've already got a video essay that I've already started to write up. So I want to get that going in the new year as well. And there are more video essays and stuff that I want to do in production-wise, make them look really nice and stuff. And that'll be another focus. Twitch will be a focus, but it won't be a focus to what you want to do or anything like that. There'll be a focus there to actually keep streaming the podcast, maybe some occasional Twitch streams here and there as well, some video game streams and stuff. Kind of like give it a bit of a push on Twitch as well, just to kind of get some following over there as well. But it's not like partnership or anything like that I'm really looking forward to. If it happens, it happens. Who gives a shit? But that's primarily my focus is content creation in the new year, and I'm really going to push forward to actually get that going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be 2019. Also, creating content with Holmesy and Buddy as well, so that'll be really cool.
Achieve that social media god title for next
year. Oh my god, seriously! For
anybody who'd like to know, Dash's name in my phone is first and last name, and then his company in my phone says social media god, which is great. I'm a big fan of that.
Jesus Christ! Oh man. Anyway, you're not the first person to do that. Actually, there's somebody else who's done that too. Oh, god.
Perfect.
Oh, god. Guys. This has been Dash and Holmesy Take 2019. If you like what you've heard today, make sure that you follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, or you can go to dashandholmesy.com, where a hub is actually going to be up in the new year as well for Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts, Open Your Hearts, and any other podcast or podcast that we do along the way. They'll all be there in a nice little hub. But you can also go to iTunes to give us a cheeky 5-star rating and a nice subscribe there. Also on Spotify as well. You can follow Holmesy on Twitter at Holmesy5. You can follow me on Twitter at Dash Gamers. Also on Twitch for Holmesy at Holmesy5. For me, Dash Gamer with a 3, not an E. And we'll be live every 3 weeks, wrapping up our Persona 5 Take Your Hearts podcast in the new year, and jumping over to Open Your Hearts, our Kingdom Hearts 3 Inspired Book Club podcast then.
Soon.
Yeah. And some new stuff as well from myself and Holmesy as well on the podcasting sphere. Very, very soon. Hopefully we'll announce that very soon as well. But guys, until then, have a safe new year. We'll see you in 2019. Much love.
Stay hungry.
dashgamer.com